I want to share a little bit about our experience with Lambdas and Go and how we move one of our most important API to a full serverless solution. What is the Create Office API? This is kind of what drove the whole decision of moving to serverless, right? We needed to make this set of APIs, which, by the way, they're customer-facing, full production. We had to make this right. So basically, the service is you want a credit card, you go pre-qualify, and we protect you to be hit your credit score. So it's a really important service for our customers. So the resiliency was part of the decision. The resiliency, the speed, the ability to deploy continuously without affecting that you cannot have downtime when somebody's actually looking for credit. The API contains a solution for pre-fill, so the customer experience gets, it's kind of smooth. So why serverless? The main point here is the no service to manage. If you have the previous experience of working with serverless technologies, as a developers, DevOps is part of our structure. DevOps is part of our ask. When you remove that from your day-to-day, then you have the ability to create better solutions. You have the ability to actually focus on what your business requires and what your clients require. Flexible scaling with serverless goes up or goes down depending on your needs. There is no idle capacity, which at the end is savings. All our solutions have to be with objective to keep things simple, and that includes cost. And high availability, like I was saying, when somebody's looking for your product, for your service, you cannot be down. You cannot give you and right now in these times, like everything's so fast, if you lose one customer, that's a domino effect. What we learned with Lambdas, and I'm going to go in each one of these because I think this is an important part of the talk. The function duration. The time that your Lambda takes to execute goes along not only with your service, but also how much you're going to pay. So be careful when you define your time. If serverless is not for everybody, that's also part of your initial design. If you want something that is going to take kind of a batch processing, maybe serverless is not for you. But if you want something fast, keep your Lambdas small, keep them smart. Control your retries. Even the Lambda gets automatic by default retries. It's important for you to have that control. Know your limits. Even that serverless means that you don't have to manage infrastructure. At the end, there's limits. So be careful when you're defining your limits. Not only just for your Lambdas, but also the services, the other part of your architecture that connect to your Lambdas. There has to be a relationship between your Lambda and your database. You cannot have different limits in there. VPC, the Elastic Network Interface, that's a key point. We recommend use VPCs. There may be some solutions that they don't need to be inside your own virtual private network, but the way you define your network, every time the Lambda has to connect to another element inside your network, that's going to consume an Elastic Network Interface. So be careful with that little thing. Use versioning, that's part of Lambda. It's a really best practice to have control of your versions and how you actually deploy, and you have the ability to roll back to that version. I'll cover that a little bit further. Login statements. That's another beauty that we like with Go, that you control your login statement fully. Everything's logged to CloudWatch, and then you can go to different solutions. Protect your Lambdas. Don't have like these Lambdas that do everything. If you want a Lambda that is going to just write to your database, just give that permission. Plan for dependencies when you're setting a timeout, right? Because your timeout from your Lambda can be different from the timeout from your database. Test, 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 and test. The only way you can tune your system is by testing. Take it to the extremes. Sometimes maybe your current solution only requires maybe 30 TPS. Try it with 90. Try it with 120. Another thing that we learn is that when you're doing a serverless Lambda-based solution, you you push yourself to think microservices. And that changed a lot how you actually design your solution. Each one of them is an independent piece. We like to draw solutions with circles instead of squares because a ball is easier to catch than a cube. Separate your Lambda handler for your core logic. That actually helps with the cold start. You will hear a lot about cold start when you hear about Lambda. And there's another beauty that we get with Go. With the small size and speed with Go, the cold starts are reduced. Use your momentum variables, right-size your functions. The limit for a Lambda size is been increased recently, but just keeping it small. Make your Lambda something that is just a yes and no kind of method solutions. If your Lambda needs more complex, then you may want to think about an EC2 instance instead of Lambdas. Always think about canary deployments. Canary deployments is a safe way to deploy. Automatically, the system will try your new Lambda, and it will roll back if something happens. Golang gives us all this beauty. I think the most important, like I was saying, is the cold start, because the smaller you function, the smaller it's going to be your cold start. In this, I want to talk about the garbage collection that you get with Go. Lambdas is all about memory and speed, and we get that with Go. This is a little diagram about our architecture, about our design. I'll suggest that let's go back to the drawing board every time you're thinking about creating a new system. Just draw it. Just draw it, and you will see a lot of things that you may not think when you first thought about the requirements coming from your business. Our pipeline, I just want to show quickly how you can define for production your deployment. You can say only 10 minutes, try it, and enough rollback. Really simple using the serverless application model. Benefits, speed, 70% reduction, 90% cost saving, and 30%